So you may have heard the terms website and sales funnel used interchangeably, or you don't even understand what they mean at all. Well, if you're a local service business, I'm going to show you exactly what the difference is between the two things and which one you really need to make sure that your business grows and stands out online. Welcome to Marketing Domination. Okay, so one of the questions we get often is, what's the difference between a website and a sales funnel, and which one do I actually need? So I think one of the reasons what's led to this confusion is with the term funnel often gets associated with a software program like a ClickFunnels or a Go High Level, some type of a tool that people are using, or they think of it as a type of landing page. Typically when a traditional funnel was thought of where it's like a landing page, it only has one option and it's to keep going through the funnel or the sales process. When we use the term sales funnel, we use it completely different. And so on this, I'm going to break down what a sales funnel is, break down what makes a really good website and what a website is, and show you the difference between the two so you know exactly what you need for your local service business. So first thing is right here, you see this amazing artwork that I have right here. And then sorry, I can tell the lights are glaring. So we're doing our best. We're going to make it happen anyway. So with a sales funnel is what I would refer to as a relationship journey process that we break down into 6 steps. So the very first step is what I would call your digital storefront. And you can see amazing handwriting here. Okay, so your digital storefront, that's going to be all of your social media, the GBP, your Google business profile, all of the out-facing things that customers see digitally before they even enter into your world. So this is going to be your social profiles, citations, listing directories, anything digitally that is showcasing your customers that you exist. Think about like your digital billboards, your digital storefronts for your business. The second part of a sales funnel comes down to your messaging. So that is the words that you use whenever you are doing your marketing. So for us, I'm a certified StoryBrand guide and coach. So we use the StoryBrand messaging framework, which creates 7 key talking points for your customers that follows a hero's journey story arc. So you have all of the words that you need to filter your marketing messaging through. After you have that, then you build out your website. So this right here is where people get sometimes confused, because for us, a website is part of a sales funnel. The sales funnel is the overall journey or relationship building process that you take your customers on. So a website is part of a sales funnel. It's not a special type of web page. It is not a special type of landing page. It's not a software tool. It is your overall website. I think that you should really only just have one website for SEO purposes and everything else. And you can have special landing pages for like pay-per-click ads or maybe special offers that you're running that can have that traditional, what you might think of as a funnel landing page look to it. But how we build websites, I'm going to show you here in just a second, that we make sure that we put 10 sections on every homepage that we build so it's set up to convert or to get you more leads. So that's the third thing that we have as part of a sales funnel. The fourth step of a sales funnel that we have is something that's called your lead gen or your lead generator. This is going to be like your PDF, your guide, maybe some type of a quiz that you're doing. The whole purpose of this is because not everybody that comes to your website is going to be ready or willing to schedule a call, buy now. So we need to have something that is an exchange of value. We always say it should be around that 30 to 50, maybe even sometimes $100 worth of value that makes people want to give their name, email, and phone number. So then that way you can follow up with them, because that is the key. With the lead generator, it should do 3 things. 1, it should position you as the proper guide for your customer. The second thing that it should do is it should have a clear and catchy title, because we want people to actually download this thing. And then the third thing that it should do is it should give them a quick win or the first step in the process that in regards to the problem that it is your business solves. So that is the next, is the lead generator. But they're going to download this amazing thing. It doesn't matter how awesome it is. Nobody actually follows up with people. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to have a follow-up sequence. Now with this, there's a couple of ways that we will think about a follow-up sequence. So one is, what is the series of events, messages that people are going to get after they download your lead generator? Another part of your sales funnel is, what is the follow-up sequencing and messaging that people are going to get after they maybe schedule an appointment with you or book that sales call with you? What's that going to look like? And then the third one that we like to think about is for those people that didn't buy. What is that sales process follow-up like, just to keep them warmed up to what it is that you do. When they download that lead generator, there's a series of 5 to 6 emails that we typically like to put people through that hopefully gets them to realize how you can help solve their problems, positions you as a guide, shows some case studies and testimonials, and gets them to want to book that call with you, schedule their service, whatever it is that your business does. And then the last part of all of this is our CRM. So we want to make sure that we are funneling everybody in here ultimately to our CRM. That is just your place where you're storing all of your customers' data, your lead data, all of your marketing stuff takes place in this tool. Because what I've seen, unfortunately, with a lot of service-based business when they first getting started, probably had a friend, a family member build their website for them, and they didn't think about connecting all of this stuff up. So a lot of it's disjointed. Maybe if you book an appointment through their website or through calling them, it goes into one data set. But if you fill out a contact form or something on their website, all it's doing is just emailing that information, typically to like the owners or the admin's inbox. And that's all that is happening. It's not being stored anywhere so we can nurture that person, follow up with them, and be reminded. Because unfortunately, if it's just getting sent to an inbox, we might follow up with them once or twice and go, oh, that was a bad lead. And then we never talk to them again. So we want to take all of this and build this out into our CRM. So looking at this, this is a sales funnel. A sales funnel is a complete process. So it is your digital storefront. It is the messaging and the words that you use. It is your website. It is your lead generator, your follow-up, and your CRM. This is the base foundations for what makes a sales funnel. Most small business owners have no idea what's actually working in their marketing and what's just wasting money. Without clarity, it feels like you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. That's why we created the free marketing assessment. In just a few minutes, you'll get a personalized report showing your biggest opportunities, where you're losing leads, and the exact next steps to fix it. It's like a health checkup for your marketing so you can stop guessing and start growing with confidence. Take the free assessment today at seangarner.co/marketing report. Now, back to the show. So the difference between that and a website is we take things away. So a website for us, especially how we build out websites, is just going to include that messaging and the website. So what we do is we write all of the words to your website for you whenever we are building websites, because what we have found is if we just rely on our customers to tell us what words to use on the website, not going to sound very good, because they're really good at their skills, but they're not good at masters of persuasion and for making sure they're using the right words on our website for keywords for search engine optimization. So we take that on for them and we base all of that around the foundation of that story brand messaging framework. And then when we're taking those words, we're building it out onto a website or a landing page that typically has at least these 10 sections on it. So the first section that I think every website should have is your header section right here. And so on the header, typically you'd have something like your logo is going to be up there. We're going to put a call to action button right up there. And that's going to be the most important thing of your website, is having a direct call to action in the top right-hand corner. The other part that we're going to do is we're going to repeat that call to action, typically in the center of the page. And then right here, we're going to have a little copy. And on that copy, it's going to say something like, it's going to help their customers answer the question, what do you do? How do you make their life better? And then those calls to action are going to say what they need to do to get it. Then back here, we're going to want to show videos or happy customers, just showcasing the happily ever after for what we do. Then after that, we're going to have this little section right here, where typically that's what we call the value stack. So this is going to be 3 benefits that customers will have once they've done business with you. So this isn't going to be necessarily 3 features. This would be 3 benefits to your customers that they will get once they do business with you. The next section right here is what we call the stakes section. So on the stakes section, this is where we don't want to be Debbie Downers, but what we do want to do is we want to remind our customers of the pain that they're currently in and what they are continuing going to struggle with if they don't work with us. So typically something like this, we might have just like centered text right here as a paragraph. Sometimes we might design it out where it's like an image and then a headline and then a couple of bullet points right here of like, are you still struggling with XYZ? And we put those things right up there. And if you're wondering, it's like, okay, as we're building out these sections, maybe you can't read this horrible handwriting. If you go to our website, seangarner.co/website wireframe, we have this 10-section template that you can download for free. Plug in your name and email. It's going to show you exactly how to wireframe out your website so it gets leads and then it gets you more sales. So the next part of our website that we have is what we call the value prop. This is also where you might list, think about the individual actual deliverables about what you do. So maybe if like you're a plumber or a roofer, you might have images that showcase your main services right here and showcase what it is you actually do. Drain cleaning, water treatment, toilet installation, like whatever it is, we're going to list those right here on this value proposition section on our website. This next section right here that we're going to want to have is what we call the guide section of our website. So on this part right here, what we're going to want to do is typically we're going to want to demonstrate empathy and authority. So how we like to do that would be something like we're going to have some copy off to the side of like, man, aren't you just frustrated to dealing with this? Or we know exactly what it's like to struggle with X, Y, and Z. Just some type of empathetic statement to let our customers know we know what it's like to be in their shoes. Then we want to have 2 to 3 very specific testimonials or case studies that we can link to, talking about a specific result that somebody has gotten from you. We don't want just like, hey, Bob was really nice. We want, man, Bob helped me save, 30% on my taxes this year. We want a very specific result that somebody's getting to. Then for me, I like to then also embed your Google reviews right there. That's huge ranking factor for a local search. And then also it just shows more trust and credibility that you can solve this problem. After that, the next section that we would have is typically, this is where we're going to list our packages and our pricing for what we have. So if you have different packages, this is where we would want to list those things out. If you don't want to list your prices, that's fine. But I would at least recommend having this section on there to just showcase the different things that you can do. Again, this may not make sense for every business, but if it does, and you do want to list your prices, list them right here. Or if not, at least have the different packages options that people do have for you. This next section is one of the most important on the website, and that is the plan. So typically we're going to have a 1, 2, 3 step plan for what your customers or potential customers need to do before they do business with you. This is going to be, schedule your call. We create a custom plan, and then you experience happily ever after. Your business thrives and dominates. You save more in taxes. You have increased health and longevity. Whatever your 3-step plan is, we want that because we want to show customers how easy it is for them to do business with us and how easy it is going to be to get results finally. The next section that we have right here, we call this the explanatory paragraph. So this is typically, we're gonna have like a hero image off to the side, and this is where we got a ton of copy. Typically this can be like a read more section that's going to scroll down because we're going to have all of our brand story wrapped around this. So remember, when you're creating your brand story, it is not your story, it's your customer's story. You are just telling, and then you are positioning yourself as the guide, as your customer, as the hero to the story. So this is where we're going to do a lot of our SEO copy and everything as well, making sure that we have lots of words that we're using on our website to clearly showcase what it is we do and how we help our customers win. This section right down here, we're going to have our lead generator. So typically it's going to be an image of the guide, quiz, whatever it is off to the right, a headline, and then we're going to ask for a name, email, phone number. Remember, it's got to have that clear and catchy title. Give them a quick win, position you as the guide for them. And it's got to also be, I would set this up something as where there's like a scroll pop-up to where people are scrolling. It's going to pop up, give them the lead, opportunity to download the lead generator so you can follow up with them. Then this last part right here of the website, typically we put like the logo right here. This is where we call the junk drawer. This is your footer right here. All the other links that you think that you need, like your hiring page, your links to your blog and everything else, we like to put down here because whenever somebody comes to a website, we've done a lot of work to get them to this position. We want them to actually be ready to buy. We don't want them to get lost in everything else on the website. We want them to be ready to buy. So this is what a website is. And you can see this is a small part of an overall sales funnel. So the difference between a website and a sales funnel is a website is a one-off thing, where a funnel is a complete process that surrounds the thing. You need a website in order to have a sales funnel, and you can't have a sales funnel without a website. So it is just a more complete relationship building process. So if you're a local service business, do you need just people to go to a landing page to learn more about you? Or do you need a complete sales relationship journey process? Guess what? That's the answer for you if you're wanting to know. You need a way that is more than a website that continually gets you leads and customers and sales on autopilot. That's what a funnel does, is it takes your website, it supercharges it to have this complete relationship journey process. So that way you get leads as you sleep. If you want us to help you implement this strategy in your business, I would love the opportunity to talk to you. Just go to SeanGarner.co, schedule your call. It'll be with me. We'll do a complete review and audit of what you currently are doing with your marketing, how your website's performing, see how you're ranking on search, and things that we can do to help you grow your business and dominate online.